source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story this Friday evening, Congress has completed a $633 billion defense bill for next year and is sending it to President Barack Obama. The Senate voted 81-14 for the sweeping policy measure. The White House has threatened a veto, but it remains unclear whether the president would reject the legislation. The bill covers the cost of ships, aircraft, weapons, and military personnel. The bill is $1.7 billion more than Obama requested. Now, the measure would tighten sanctions on Iran, increase security at diplomatic missions worldwide, and press the military on possible options to end the bloodshed in Syria. It also keeps the F-16 jets of the aggressor squadron at Eielson Air Force Base for another year.
But we have very strong language in there to protect the F-16s at Eielson Air Force Base. This is something I worked on in the committee. And then, of course, as a delegation, we work together, and the net result is we got some strong language in there now to really send to the family saying, you know, this Christmas, a little more stability in this issue.
Senator Lisa Murkowski today responded to the Food and Drug Administration's environmental assessment decision to move forward into the public comment period on genetically modified fish. She said more study is needed before so-called Frankenfish are allowed into the system.
I am concerned with the recent news that the FDA is moving forward with the approval of genetically modified fish. This is especially troubling as the agency is ignoring the opposition by salmon and fishing groups, as well as more than 300 environmental, consumer, and health organizations.
Congressman Don Young said that from the beginning, he has said that Frankenfish pose a grave threat to Alaska's wild salmon stock. He said the decision by the FDA is foolish and disturbing. The congressman said as the final process moves forward, he will continue to fight with the Alaska congressional delegation to ensure that the product never hits the market. The Fairbanks Chamber of Commerce has kicked off its fundraising efforts for the annual Alaska Federation of Natives Convention with a $5,000 check to the AFN fundraising committee. After a 3-year hiatus, the communities of the interior will welcome the AFN in October 2013. The Alaska Federation of Natives is the largest statewide Native organization in Alaska, including 178 villages, 13 regional Native corporations, and 12 regional nonprofit and tribal consortiums. Alaska's unemployment rate fell to its lowest level in nearly 4 years, hitting a preliminary 6.8% in November. That compares to 7.4% in November of 2011. The last time unemployment stood at 6.8% in Alaska was December of 2008. Now, nationally, unemployment stood at 7.7% last month. The State Labor Department says the recent declines have brought Alaska's unemployment rate to slightly lower than the state's 10-year average.
I think the thing that we'll watch for 2013 is will our rate pop up above the national rate like it normally is, but during the last 3.5, 4 years, we're in our 4th year, our rates have come below the nation's, which is really unusual.
Okay, Mike Schultz joins us now with a look at our weekend weather. Mike, any warm-up?
Actually, Daryl, there's going to be a little bit of warm-up. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Right now, we have, once again, the fog moving back in after not too bad of a day. We had, once again, a few areas of sunshine, but right now, temperature-wise, around the interior, as you can see, things are very, very chilly, 40 degrees below zero for Fort Wainwright, Fairbanks, North Pole, Eielson Air Force Base at 39, 32 degrees below zero at Delta Junction, and even warmer out in Indiana because the winds are blowing, helping to bring some of that warm air down. But just the opposite at Denali Park, 48 degrees below zero. We are talking about some warmer temperatures coming in. I'll tell you all about that and the rest of the weekend forecast later on. Daryl?
All right, thank you, Mike. Now, when we come back, health officials explain immunization program changes that take effect next year. Also, this year's toy drive, phenomenally successful. We'll have a report. Stay with us.
This edition of the Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Northland Hearing Services, better hearing with a human touch. Kendall Auto of Fairbanks. And by Nissan, innovation that excites.
And welcome back. Yukon Quest officials are urging their support base and area businesses caution when being approached for sponsorship advertising. Now, in recent days, they have fielded calls from local store owners who claim they have been solicited by an outside firm offering advertising that will promote the 1,000-mile sled dog race. The Yukon Quest organization says fundraising occurs year-round for them, but currently they do not have an active advertising campaign or partnership with an outside agency. Now, when in doubt, officials say it's worth calling the Quest office to confirm the source.
If anybody has been approached by anyone lately to buy a sponsorship package supporting the Yukon Quest, feel free to give us a call at 452-7954. We're not actively doing anything at the moment because it is the holiday season and it's time to focus on our family and our friends. So after the holidays, we will come to say hello to you because the race is on February 2nd.
The Department of Health and Social Services say there is apparently a misunderstanding about upcoming changes in the state's immunization program. It was originally reported that after the first of the year, there would be no more free vaccines for children. Actually, it means that children who are insured won't be able to get free immunizations. Adult vaccines will also only be available to those without insurance. Despite the changes, the Department of Health and Social Services still plans to offer free immunizations for those without insurance and to underinsured people whose insurance won't pay for vaccines.
Starting in January 1 of 2013, the immunization program will no longer be providing immunizations free for insured children routinely. Now, we still will cover about 75% of the children in state that are eligible for vaccines using federal and state funds. Children and adults who are uninsured or underinsured, or children who qualify for the Vaccines for Children program will remain covered.
The fall semester for students, faculty, and staff alike is over for the University of Alaska Fairbanks campus. Over the holiday break, the campus goes into hard closure mode with only a few departments open, which include police and fire service. Now, before the beginning of spring semester, UAF offers students and the community concentrated courses that are designed to help students fulfill their core requirements or to allow the community to take non-traditional courses on interesting subjects such as bicycle maintenance and repair or e-book publishing workshops. The compact courses run from January 2nd through the 15th, and the program is called Wintermester.
It gives students an opportunity, students who are working towards completing a degree, to finish one course in 2 weeks, which is really kind of nice because the average student at UAF graduates in 6 years as opposed to 4. And so whatever we can do to help them get it, tuck in one more course at a time when there's no competition for space.
Wintermester officials say the offices will be closed next week for the Christmas holiday, but you can still call and leave a message if you're interested in enrolling. UAF summer sessions number is 474-7021, or you can log on to their website at uaf.edu/summer. A link to their website can be found on our website, that is webcenter11.com. Well, thanks to an incredible outpouring of generosity and love from the community, a toy drive that was begun in November resulted in hundreds of pounds of toys for needy children in the Fairbanks area. Today, the conference room at the United Way of the Tanana Valley was overflowing with hundreds of toys and stuffed animals of all shapes and sizes. The toys were accumulated through drop-off points at Walmart, Madden Realty, and a Christmas bazaar at the Tickasuk Brown Elementary School. The next step will be to distribute the toys through local agencies within the community.
We're very excited. As you can see, there's a huge stack of toys, and this is the second toy disbursement that we've done from this drive, so it's just been amazing, the selection and the generosity of the people of Fairbanks.
Yeah, it was very humbling to see the overwhelming support and just the sheer volume, as you can see, of toys that came in and flooded the bins at the office. So it really is powerful. Makes you proud to be a Fairbanksan, and especially around the season of Christmas when giving is really what it's all about.
Joe Cook with me now, otherwise known as Joe Clark Cook sometimes. What's going on in sports tonight?
Hey, some stuff going on, you know, some high school basketball going on in the interior tonight, and the Green Bay Packer fans working for the team.
That's weird.
We'll see what those cheeseheads were doing early this morning. Sports coming up next.
Brought to you by the Law Office of Rita T. Alley. Peace of mind through professional legal services.
Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you on this fabulous Friday. The weekend is here, so let's get it started in the right way with some sports. Before Christmas gets here on Tuesday, there are some holiday hoops going on in the interior. Tonight's slate features 4 non-conference basketball games. The Monroe Catholic Rams host the Wasilla Warriors in Bolu Hall. The Rams are 4-1 and looking to bounce back against the Warriors after their loss to the Service Cougars in the championship of the Cougar Tip-Off tournament last week. It was the Rams' first loss since January, and that loss was to Diamond. The Rams are led by Scooter Bynum and Tyler Wells, with David Stepovich running the show at point guard. Also in boys basketball, one of the 2 winless teams in the area will get a win. The North Pole Patriots go down the Richardson Highway to Allison Air Force Base to take on the Ravens. This will be an interesting matchup between 2 teams who have a number of football players on their teams. Lance Wright is a game time decision for North Pole. Wright sprained his ankle in the first game against Lathrop, but he could be cleared to play. The Patriots get notable contributions from seniors Anthony Gibson, Josh Millen, and Raymond Tamsey, who can stroke it from the outside. The Ravens are led by Javante Kincaid, who's coming off a 27-point game against Delta. The Ravens lost, unfortunately, in that one, 52-43. It will be 2 0-2 teams, but one will get their first win of the year. The other 2 games tonight are in girls basketball. The Monroe Catholic Rams are hosting Delta Junction this evening. In an endowment game, the result will not affect the team's records, but proceeds from this game will go to the Alaska Schools Activities Association, or ASAA. Delta is coming off a win over the Allison Ravens. Jess Reeder of Delta went off for 27 points. At one point in the game, she outscored the Ravens by her lonesome 27-25. She was just feeling it. The Rams lost to West Valley. In their last game, the Rams, they're led by Alexis Gavora, a double-figure scorer, and the Rams look to get their first win of the season and hold Reeder and the Huskies at bay. On the Air Force Base, the Allison Ravens will try to bounce back against a banged-up North Pole squad. The Patriots suffered some injuries to 2 key players in Reagan Smothers and Josie Broderick. In the championship game of the Kenai River Challenge last week, the Patriots fell to the Soldotna Stars 67-27. Erica Croxton, she tried to pick up the slack. She scored a season-high 15 points. So with some time off to get their 2 seniors healthy for a Patriot team that isn't very deep, they will look to get back into the swing of things. The Ravens, however, are led by Teresa McCoy, and she is the real McCoy. She's averaging a little over 20 points per game. The Ravens are 1-1, winning their opener at Monroe in a defensive struggle, 29-25, and will try to get above 500 going into the holiday break. We'll have highlights and more on these games on the Saturday edition of the Fairbanks Evening News tomorrow. It is the holiday season, and one of the things a lot of people do is pick up a side job to make some extra cash during the holidays. The place to be for cheeseheads was Lambeau Field. The facilities management department at Lambeau Field let fans line up to help shovel and remove snow from the stadium for Sunday's game against the Titans. It was the first public snow removal of the year, and about 600 fans lined up as early as 3 a.m. for the 8 a.m. start to clear a little over 10 inches of snow. The Packers organization paid the workers $10 an hour for a full day's work. Even if it's work, what an experience to get paid to be inside the hallowed Lambeau Field.
Man, I've never been out here, never seen it, only on TV, man. First time ever. I'm from Milwaukee, man. I never even, man, feel good to even just see it.
We have 13 people on our staff that's just supervising it, and we're moving a lot of snow. So we couldn't do it without the help.
Now, the last time the Packers did the public snow shoveling, the Packers lost in the playoffs to the Giants. This game on Sunday against the struggling Titans shouldn't be a problem, so I don't think they'll stop the practice. It's definitely a good one. And that'll be about it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Be sure to follow us on Twitter for your sports updates at KTVF 11 Sports and at KTVF Joe Cook. You want to see more highlights, then go to webcenter11.com and you'll see the KTVF 11 Sports YouTube channel. During this holiday season, stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next. We'll catch you next time.
Hey guys, we made it through the day.
We did. It was cold. It was cold.
3 hours and 42 minutes of daylight.
Wow.
Shortest day of the year.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
Or the longest night of the year. I always look for the positive.
Good news is there are warmer temperatures on the horizon.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Past Christmas. We'll talk about those a little bit. Let's go out the airport right now, see what's going on out there. And as you can see, our temperatures are 40 below with ice fog. The high today, 37 below. The low last night, 48 below. Record high, 41 in 1985, 49 below in 1961. Now the sunrise this morning, 10:59, sunset 2:42. That gives us our 3 hours and 42 minutes we were talking about. And the winds are out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. The barometer is falling. Now we want to once again pass along an air quality alert all the way through 5 p.m. Monday. Fairbanks is in unhealthy levels and North Pole very unhealthy levels. If you have any respiratory problems or any reason not to go outside, don't do it because it's going to be very uncomfortable for you. Here's what's going on in our satellite picture. And again, you can see not a whole lot to talk about. High pressure, a huge area of high pressure sitting over the major part of the state, helping to keep any clouds off to the west and to the east. And this situation is going to continue into the weekend. But the good news is this system will slowly start working its way back and allow more clouds and warmer temperatures to come in by Sunday. That's good. Now, what's going on across the rest of the state? Well, June was at 15 degrees, Ketchikan 35, Kodiak at 27 degrees. Elsewhere on the western side of the state, we're looking at mainly clear skies around Nome, 16, 1 degree above zero at Barrow, and 51 below at Fort Yukon. Wow, that's cold. Lower 48 weather, again, more rain falling across the Pacific Northwest. Things have cleared off across much of the Central Plains. The storm that was giving them problems earlier this week, now moving to the northeast, and it shows up pretty good on the satellite and radar. Look at the pinks. That is all indicating frozen precipitation moving rapidly out to the northeast. Right behind it, a new storm moving across the Pacific Northwest promises to bring more rain across much of the western half of the country tomorrow, all the way down to Southern California. Heavy snow expected in the passes, so some very, very violent weather expected, and this jet stream will be helping to escort some of these storms rapidly over to the east, and again, moving that cold area in from the northwest. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. The northern section is looking for cloudy skies for Barrow, clearing in Nome, mostly clear and cold for Fort Yukon, 38 below for the daytime high. Here in the interior, dense ice fog should be lifting tomorrow afternoon at Fairbanks, mostly clear at Denali Park. Over southeast Alaska, the winds are continuing around Juneau. Can't seem to get away from those. 19 degrees for the high there, but nice weather at Ketchikan, 33 degrees there. Over to the southwest, looking at sunny skies at Bethel, snow showers for Cold Bay and Kodiak, and over the south central regions, again, mostly sunny skies at Anchorage, a few clouds for Homer, and cloudy in Valdez. Okay, once again, time for our kids' weather. All this week we've been talking with the kids and the teacher from Nordale Elementary School. Tonight they all gathered together for a special Christmas wish for you.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle.
And thanks again to all the kids and the teacher there from Nordale Elementary School. Merry Christmas to you also. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank. And next week, because school will be out, we'll be once again having those interesting weather facts for you. And it is a Friday night, which means it's time for our Winter Trails Report. Unfortunately, severe cold temperatures will continue through the weekend. If you do venture out for activities, be sure to bundle up properly and don't go anywhere alone because it's too easy to get possibly injured if you don't have somebody else out there to help you. All right, here's your forecast for tonight. 44 below at the airport, mostly clear skies and bitterly cold areas of fog. Tomorrow, the ice fog will be lifting hopefully during the midday hours. 28 below, that's warmer than it was today. And the good news is the 5-day outlook is calling for encouraging temperatures. As you can see here, we're looking again at temperatures rising to near 5 above. How about that? That'll be a nice Christmas present from Mother Nature. Above zero. I can't believe it. Anyway, looking at the overnight lows also rising to the low 20s below. I think I get excited about that. But the good news is, like I said, cloudy skies and milder temperatures moving in by Christmas Day.
That is shorts weather, isn't it, Joe?
I wouldn't say that.
You always say, well, now he's going to experience the back end of temperatures. You think it's cold going down, but once you're coming back from subarctic temperatures, it feels warmer.
Yeah, I haven't been there that long, but I've kind of noticed the difference between 30 below and 5 degrees. So
Crazy, isn't it?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
The best news, We start getting our daylight back.
That is
All right.
fantastic. All right, get a suntan too. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we are glad you could join us.
Tonight on NBC Nightly News, armed guards in schools, is it a good idea? That's next with Brian Williams.
For all our news, sports, and weather, go to webcenter11.com.
Okay, from all of us here at the News Center, we want to wish you a pleasant evening. Stay warm.
Have a nice weekend.